The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
As a former New Hampshire state representative who marched with Dr. Martin Luther King in 1963, he currently serves on the New Hampshire Commission for Human Rights. He's a product of Birmingham, Alabama, where at one time he had to guess how many jelly beans were in a fruit jar just to be able to vote.
We've come a long way, but we're not there yet.
It is his goal to work with you in putting Nashua back on top, to be voted the #1 city in the nation again. Together we will explore the visible laws, invisible laws, and the structures above and beneath our human surface that keep us reaching for the stars, learning how to treat each other better today than we did yesterday.
My name is Harvey Keye, and I want to talk straight talk right here in Nashua, New Hampshire, because you know, as I know, we are in a crisis situation, and that's what we're going to talk about. My name is Harvey Keye. Some people call me Harvey Keye. I accept both names because that's who I am. I live in Nashua, New Hampshire, and I want to just tell you a little bit about what we're going to be talking about in the coming months called Straight Talk. I happen to have arrived in Birmingham, Alabama, my hometown, after serving in Korea for 2 years, not in the Korea, but in the Korean conflict. I was stationed in Germany. And when I arrived back home in Birmingham, Alabama, 1956 or 57, I went in to register to vote. And I was greeted by a man bigger than the door with a gun on his side who says to me, if you can count the number of bubbles in this jar, you can vote. You can register to vote. Well, I was so angry, I turned around and I left. I don't think I ever got a chance to vote in my hometown of Birmingham, Alabama because of George Wallace and Bull Connor, who says segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever. I left Birmingham in a haste. After traveling several other places throughout the country, I landed in Nashua, New Hampshire. And in Nashua, New Hampshire, I got a chance to become a state representative and currently serving as a Human Rights Commissioner for the state of New Hampshire. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you how proud I am to exercise that constitutional right. I expect to be talking about things that are progressive and productive in a performance sort of way for progressive Nashua, New Hampshire. I expect to have several people on this show that talks about competency, performance, elevation, perspective, decency, respect, dignity, and pride, and the ability to love Nashua, New Hampshire. Nashua, New Hampshire is #1, not #1, but in the top 20 for 3 times in the last 40 years, one of the best cities to live in this country. And I don't see any reason why we can't say with a big heart on our chest, I love Nashua. I love New Hampshire. And ladies and gentlemen, I do love New Hampshire. And for that, I want to render a huge amount of my time for the things that this city has done to stay abreast of all of the things that are happening to our country. There's so many things that are going on right now. And we're so lucky to be in a place in our lives to listen and learn and understand and be understood, to love. And you know, loving is a tough job. But to love those people who don't love you too much is a very, very hard job. But what it turns out to be is that you match the intent of those people. Let me repeat that. I say to you, that if you love them even though they don't love you, that's a tough job. And I don't mean that syrupy kind of love. I mean, look at the bright side of all individuals. Look at not the ugly side, and all of us have those sides. But if we start practicing that at home, particularly for mothers who don't have husbands and have children and who have little kids that they're trying to raise with 1, 2, 3 jobs right here in Nashua. That's the group that I want to really target for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 months, maybe longer, to see if we can't get some help for these young ladies. And the husbands are gone. I work at a place called Bass Pro on a part-time basis, and occasionally I get a chance, or what, not occasionally, but more frequently than occasionally, I get a chance to speak with young women who have 1 or 2 kids, and they say to me, these are my kids. I have to pick them up, and the dad will pick them up on the weekend. Well, I don't have to ask any questions, and I don't. But that tells me that the dad is not home with the mom. And the mom has, most times, at least two jobs, and sometimes 3, just to make ends meet. And of course, if that's the case, you know and I know, and I'm not a social scientist, I'm just a regular old citizen in New Hampshire, Nashua particularly, and I love this state. You know that that woman is having a hard time teaching respect and dignity and pride to her kids because she's working 2 jobs. When she's finished, she's tired. She must go to sleep and get some rest. Now, I'm going to be asking the city fathers and the city leaders and the politicians throughout our city, not the state necessarily, but if it wants to reach out to the state, fine. But I'm going to be concentrating on Nashua, New Hampshire. Nashua, New Hampshire. And I'm going to be talking straight talk. We're not going to be talking about a lot of ugly politics. And we're in a period right now, I don't want to call it ugly, I call it politics. Politics, not 101. This is a graduate course in politics where they will kill each other to occupy the most powerful seat in the world. And that's what they're doing right now. So we won't get into that. We won't get into local politics, state politics, or national politics. Not my job. It's too many people talking about it, and none of them know what tomorrow is going to bring. None of them. I don't care who they are and how many times they've been on TV and how many podcasts or webcasts, webinars they've done. They do not know what's going to happen next week. And we are in a position in this country today where we're looking at things from a point that we've never seen before. I hope it's more beautiful than we can expect. I hope we're able to gain our decency, our pride, and our dignity back. I don't think we've already lost it. I don't think we've lost it really that much. I think we've lost it to some degree, but we're quite resilient. We're only 400 years old. We're the strongest nation in the world today. Hopefully we'll stay that way for a long time. But the way we're going to stay that way is treat the people better who live inside of these walls of USA and those people who are outside. We're just going to find and must find a way to make people feel good about themselves. And we can start right here at this station called Access Nashua. This is a TV station that's open to the public, and I want to tell you every day that I come onto your show and into your homes, your living rooms, is want you to say a couple things. I want to feel good. I am worthwhile. I have dignity. I have pride. I am independent. I want more for our city and our state. And also, find that you will be giving and serving, and not even asking for thanks. And you're doing it because you're part of this universe. All of us are really a part of all of this thing called a universe. We don't know where it extends. We don't know from whence we cometh, and we do not know where we're going. But we know this, that while we're here, we can have a great time being better to each other today than we were yesterday. Now that's it for today. Next week and the coming weeks, I'll have a guest on, and they will be coming from all walks of life right here on your station. in your living rooms so you can begin to help appreciate what Nashua really means. And I want to say to the governor, and particularly for Jim Donches, our marvelous mayor, I want a pin on the back of every back or on the front of every shirt. I love New Hampshire. I love Nashua. And that is it, folks. Have a great day. See you next time.
As a former New Hampshire state representative who marched with Dr. Martin Luther King in 1963, he currently serves on the New Hampshire Commission for Human Rights. He's a product of Birmingham, Alabama, where at one time he had to guess how many jelly beans were in a fruit jar just to be able to vote.
We've come a long way, but we're not there yet.
It is his goal to work with you in putting Nashua back on top, to be voted the #1 city in the nation again. Together we will explore the visible laws, invisible laws, and the structures above and beneath our human surface that keep us reaching for the stars, learning how to treat each other better today than we did yesterday.
My name is Harvey Keye, and I want to talk straight talk right here in Nashua, New Hampshire, because you know, as I know, we're in a crisis situation, and that's what we're going to talk about.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.